Alrighty, guys, we're gonna do a. This is gonna be a long video. I'm not gonna break it up into different pieces. We're gonna go spoiler operation, air suspension operation, light check, walk around, listen to the engine, interior tour. So this hour, I mean, honestly, probably 20-25 minutes. So grab a beer, get a coffee, and enjoy. So I did want to point out one thing on the cars with the Sport Chrono, the Panameras. I always forget to mention this, so some guys might not know this. When you put it in Sport Plus, the spoiler actually tilts, and I'm gonna try and get that, but because my tripod is so low, you may not be able to tell, but you may. So we're gonna give it a shot. And it's like it's in the 40s. I have to work on it. Okay, so you have to be moving for the spoiler to tilt up in Sport Plus. But it's super neat. I wasn't sure if it would do it stationary. I guess not. All right. So now we're going to demonstrate air suspension. So these cars have a it's called a high level. You can't drive in it. Well, you can. You can go like 4 or 5 miles an hour. Then it automatically disengages. I use it for like an axle lift type situation because my driveway has a terrible, dip to go up to it. So I always use the high level. So right now we're at Sport Plus, which is the lowest setting, which is where I always drive the car, or these cars. I think it looks better. I think it handles better, but it can be rough for some folks. So comfort or sport is also an option. So what we're going to do first is we're going to raise it all the way up to high level. Then we're going to go to comfort. Then we're going to go to sport. And we're going to end up back here at Sport Plus. All right, so we're going up. Drive like this up to like, I think it's 5 or 6 miles an hour, then it will automatically disengage. Okay, now we're going to disengage, raise height, high level, down to normal. Okay, so this is what's called comfort. Now we're going to... Okay, so this is comfort. Sport goes down a little bit. And then this last one. This is Sport Plus, as low as it'll go. I'm going to go ahead and top the front. on the Gen 1s, they do not have a closed trunk or hatch or whatever you want to call it on the inside. So you can pop it from the inside, but to close it, you have to physically walk back here and hit the button. Now this guy right here, okay, you may think, oh, that's stupid, I'm never gonna use that. This comes in handy more than you probably realize. So what this does is, let's say you went to the grocery store or the office and you're home and you got all your stuff and you want to just go inside. So if you hit this button right here, the hatch will close and the car will lock and you can just walk away. Okay, so that's actually a really neat, that's a neat feature. Yeah. Then you hit that, she closes up. So we're gonna do our light check here. So I believe these wheels, I think these came off a Gen 2, meaning a 14, 15, or 16. I don't believe these wheels were offered on the Dot 1s, but I'm not sure. They maybe they were. I'm not entirely sure about that. So we're going to turn off the hazards so nobody thinks we're getting mugged, because that would be not great. You know, it's funny, on every one of these I've ever had, that tape that holds next to the fan relay, it always comes loose. You see it flopping in the wind of the belt and everything right there. Belt, I should say. Every single one. Alright. Now, if anyone doesn't know, you can put this hood in service position, like those videos, like the pictures I had. You push that in, the whole hood goes up. Man, it makes working on these things. Whew, you get so much more room in there. Okay. So now we're going to do the walk around. We're going to start in the back. So let's talk about the car in general. This is a 2010. It is 15 years old. I do not want anyone to think for a second cosmetically it has some imperfections, absolutely. So Panameras, I mean, they're not like, you know, some folks get the, you know, the 911s and they never drive them. Panameras were bought and they were driven. They were the, you know, the four-door family-ish type car. So you are gonna, okay, not every single one, but most of them you see, you are gonna have some cosmetic imperfections. I mean, there are the ones out there with like 10,000 miles on them, and that's crazy because they were never driven. But this, I mean, this was driven. It's 15 years old with 80-something thousand miles on it. So the taillights are in decent shape. I've seen Dot 1s get horribly fogged over. These aren't bad. I'm assuming they're original. They look like it. You can get them refinished. I've seen people polish the taillights and they come out looking really good. I wanted to point out the gas door hinge. It's a weak point on these cars. It breaks in there and gets all floppy. This one is not floppy. When I mean floppy, like it's floppy. This has a little movement, but I mean, they get, if you've looked at them, then you probably know what I'm talking about. The wheels are, generally speaking, in really good shape. But you do have a little bit of the finish coming off. I think, yeah, there's a little bit more on that spoke down there. I think one or two of them might have very slight curbing. Yeah, there's a little curb right there, but they're not bad. I mean, they look really good. So this side, I don't really have anything to point out paint wise. I pointed out this little spot on the bumper that is driver front. There's a little bit of color coming off the crest there, not terrible. You do have some rock chips. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. But nothing, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Looks like maybe this bumper was caught on something at some point. There's a little, right there. Who knows, over the course of its life. This wheel has a little curb action going on right there. But again, nothing terrible, nothing to get I would say nothing to get overly excited about. But it does present really well. It looks like $1 million. I had a guy walk by. He said, "What's that?" I said, "That's a Panamera." He said, "Oh, what?" I said, "It's the Porsche Panamera." He didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, back seat. Don't have a whole lot to go over back here. Basically, we have heated seats in the back, which actually is quite nice. I'll do this with my finger out of the way. So everything's functioning there. I guess you can lock it from the back. Maybe the door has to be closed. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Yeah, door has to be closed. So you can lock it, unlock it from the back. Cup holder. Okay, I wanted to talk about in the back seat these little indentations right here and right here. So what this is, when I got the car, rear seats were folded down, which right here. Boop. So what happens is, I'm not gonna say the rear seats were never sat in, but they look like they were never sat in. So those indentations, that happens when the rear seats on these cars are left down for a long time, because it indents on that guy right here, and the seat bolster, that's harder than you think. So with time, those will come out. They will work themselves out. You might, maybe you could put a little heat on them. I'd be nervous doing that. Honestly, I'd hate for something. I'm not going to do it. I'd hate for something to happen to the leather because it's in such good shape. And this is the cognac. Man, I can't even say the word. Interior color. Cognac. Yeah, Man, I'm going tongue-tied. It has we got the Burmeister stereo, which is super neat. So all of our seat functions work. Little bolster there. Okay. I think let's get there. And go over to. We're only at 13 minutes. It's not going to be as long as I thought. So driver's seat, everything is good there. Everything works like it should. I mean, there's a little bit of wear on the driver's seat. Again, for being 15 years old, I think it's in really good shape. I would be completely happy to keep this car. I love Panameras. I think they're super cool. So we have no vehicle messages, none. All the services are up to date. Okay. We are going to turn on the heated seat because it's a little, it's not warm. I'll put it that way. Oh, it feels good. Okay, so here we have our seat memories. You can set them. We have our power folding mirrors. And we have our power folding mirrors. We have our passenger mirror. We have our driver mirror. Okay. Window 1. Window 2. Window 4. We've done the hatch, child lock, windows. I kind of hard to demonstrate. E-brake, pretty self-explanatory there. So it's on, it's off. Let's see, turn signals, lights are on. You can see our gauges. And I know I was going to put some gas in it, but I left my wallet at home. So I guess the gas message will probably come on shortly. All right, what else we got? Horn, wipers. All right, let's see. Cruise control. Check. And this is the regular cruise control. This is not adaptive. And you might say, oh, I really want adaptive cruise. I've had to fix an adaptive cruise on one of these that didn't work right. It was a pain in the ass. So maybe you don't want adaptive cruise. But it's cool when it's working right. Then you have our you can do your different Burmeister. Super cool. Different options here. So on and so forth. You go back. There you go. Oh, that's pretty neat. I never really screwed around with all these. Anyway, yeah. Alright. It's a good song. I do listen to country and I live in the South. I know that's a little stereotypical, but it is what it is. Alright, our climate system. Everything is good here. AC will freeze you out. Heater is nice and hot. So I always tell this story, and if anyone's watched more than one of my videos, and you've heard it, so Porsche has a really neat thing that maybe today it's standard. I don't really look at newer cars other than Porsches. But this whole climate thing with all these buttons. Okay, so dual temperature, right? Driver, passenger. Not that big of a deal. I will say, I don't want to digress, but being able to control both from one. See, now I have mono off, so it's just the driver's side. And then if I want to do that, it's hard to see because of the glare. There you go. Anyway, some newer BMWs, I guess sometimes they don't have that, and it's really a pain in the butt because I'm a little OCD about my climate temperatures. I don't know why. I like them to match. So if I'm driving a car that doesn't have a mono button, I have to like change this one and then change this one, and it's annoying. Anyway. Okay, so the dual fan speeds is something neat that Porsche does. I wish that glare wasn't there. Maybe I can do, no, it's tough. How do I get, okay, there you go. So you can do dual fan speeds. Okay, it's neat, it's cool. But what they do that's really, like I said, it may be more of a commonplace nowadays, but back in 2010, man, nobody had this. It's independent air distribution. What do I mean by that? That means the driver can have air on his or her feet and cabin. Okay, you can do like, okay, I want air on my feet. The passenger can be like, I don't want air on my feet. Or maybe they only want air on their feet. See that? Different. I like them to match. I'm weird. But I always joke, I like air on my feet when I drive. Or when I'm in the car. My wife hates it. So the first Cayenne we got here, we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So we don't have to like, not fight, but you know what I mean. I want air on my feet. Okay, so then we have heated and cooled. Both of them work. And you might say, well, how do I know it works? Because the light's on. Well, if they don't work, if it's not functioning, the light will not come on, because I've had to fix everything on these cars. So if it has an issue or something's not working properly, the lights will not light up. So that's how you know they are working, because the LEDs are lighting up. Okay, so we got sport mode, sport plus. I usually drive in sport. Sport plus is a little herky-jerky for me. So these are the different suspension settings we've talked about. So I always drive in Sport Plus. That's just what I like. So this is the button to go to high level. This turns off traction. This activates your spoiler manually, and this is that stupid stop-start auto thing the government makes us have. I think but it's cool when you go in sport, it automatically disengages this. Okay, watch. Well, I don't know if the light. I've never actually paid attention to that. Anyway, when you go into sport, it disengages that. I never put the spoiler up unless it's supposed to be up. That's just me. If you want to drive around with your spoiler up, you know what? That's cool. I just like the car to do it when it's supposed to do it. Okay. This car does not have a rear camera. We have beepers, sensors, front and rear. We're going to demonstrate the functionality of the sensors. There's the gas message. Nobody give me a hard time. I knew it was coming. I was gonna get gas before, but like I said, my wallet's at home. So now someone's gonna give me hell for it. I guess it didn't like to pick up tree branches. Alright, let's go find something else. I just feel really nervous backing into things. Well, let me go find something. I'll make another video just showing that the park assist works. Because we are at 22 minutes. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.